What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with the overall market and break down some very important levels. I'm also going to talk about what's happening with the news that just came out and how this is affecting the market so far. But before I break anything down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. Now, this offer ends in just 5 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So right now, the market made this attempt to bounce in the morning. You guys can see it right here. And we were actually at 414 yesterday, when very, very close to when we had closed. Not after close, sorry, during the after hours. And then by the time we opened, SPY ended up gapping down, but it still tried to pump towards this 417 area. So we got this small bounce right here. And instead of trying to get that breakout, it ended up failing. We came back down, got a back test, and this was just another liquidity grab. We failed to break our 200 EMA, and SPY continued to sell off alongside Tesla and these other tickers. So we're still looking more bearish. If you look at the 30 minutes time frame, we're looking more bearish. You could see that the PPO is about to cross in favor of the bears. We're looking weaker. Sellers have the edge. And then on the 4-hour time frame, we're still looking more bearish overall. So the market is looking weaker. The bears have the edge. So I'm going to break down some very important levels to watch for now that we're breaking below 414. So we're going to be watching 413.25 as the next support if we end up holding below 414. And then if we lose 413.25, 412.5 is going to be the next level. If we lose that, we're going to head all the way down towards 410. Now, the market still has more downside, still looking very, very weak, and the current fundamentals are still not necessarily, helping. Looking at the GDP numbers, this was hotter than expected, and the Fed mentioned to everyone that they're going to need to see contraction in the economy to bring down inflation. So far, the economic data is still showing lots of strength, but it's very, very artificial because you have to remember, consumer spending is still going up. It's hotter than expected. But is this really hot because Americans are making all this money? Are Americans doing super, super well? And do Americans have more spending power? Not necessarily. They have less spending power because inflation is hurting them. And with the current spending still high, it's because of credit card debts reaching all time highs. Americans are continuing to swipe credit cards like crazy, and there is a risk of this potentially leading to new changes by the Fed. So we're going to be watching these levels very carefully. Looking at some more data, the 10-year is still kind of flat right now, but we're starting to see the whole market sink. SPY is barely touching 414. We're starting to lose it. And, upon losing it, we're getting very close to this 413.3 level. It's continuing to sink and look very, very weak. So we tried to balance and we failed. And now the market is once again looking weaker. As for Tesla, we're going to be watching some important levels. So Tesla's testing are getting very close to testing 206. That's the support from the pre-market. And Tesla's also weakening a little bit. We're going to be watching that 205 to 206 support right here. If we lose that range, I'm going to be expecting Tesla to come all the way down towards 202.5. So be very careful around that 205 level. That's going to be a very important support. So we were talking about Tesla trying to bounce, and you could see, look at this wick, guys. Tesla tried to go all the way up to 212. It actually came very close to 215, exactly where this resistance was. But I warned everyone to watch resistance. We'll see if we could hold or not. We ended up breaking down. So now Tesla's looking more bearish, and we could see sellers trying to bring this even lower. So watch these key supports. Don't forget to watch that 205 level if we end up holding below 206. 206 is a very, very important support. For resistance, we have strong resistance at 208 and then 210. So watch those levels and just know the market is continuing to look weak. On the QQQ, the same thing is essentially going on. The QQQ has broken below 350. I was talking about this kind of like a kiss of 250 where we just kind of like touch it. I was hoping we would try to hold it, but because we failed, that was a bearish signal. So with the bears, having the edge, we tried to balance. We tried to get back above 350, but we failed, and we got this big rejection. So with that rejection in play, we're going to be watching some key supports right about here. We're going to be watching this 344 level. If we lose it, watch 342.5. If we lose that, 340 is going to be on the table, and the QQQ could just continue to sink. So watch support. For resistance, watch 345 to 345.8, 348, and then 350. It is still looking more bearish. Now on Nvidia, I was talking about a potential double bottom, but that's failing so far. We failed. So we basically bounced off 407, came all the way up. I was talking about 420 being tested. Yes, we tested, but then we failed after that and we came back down. So it ended up failing. We did make the move that I was talking about, but then it ended up failing afterwards. And now Nvidia is looking very bearish. So we're going to be watching 402 as support. If we lose it, watch 400. And below that, that's when things could get very, very ugly because, there's not a whole lot of support after that. We could start flushing down towards 395 pretty quickly. And then after that, we have like 390 and other levels like that. So, there's a risk of more downside. We're going to be very careful with Nvidia and these different tickers. And, it's continuing to look very weak. So watch support and just know the market is continuing to weaken. For Aapl stock, let me pull up Aapl. I was talking about 172. If we had broken that, there'd be hope for the bulls. We came just short of testing that, and because we failed, Aapl is still looking more bearish, and we're going to be watching this support right here. So we have this very critical support on Aapl. Let me just show you where it is right here. I'm going to pull up the daily chart, uh, just like this. And you're going to be noticing that right here, we have this very important zone of support, very close to this 165 range. We also have this previous resistance becoming support around 167. So that's that 167 range. If we lose that, you're going to be watching 165. And if 165 fails us, we have this gap down here towards 163.75 right here. And then we have this support right here that comes right below it at 163. So, like I said, guys, we're looking kind of weak now. If Aapl loses 167, it's going to continue sinking. We could get very close to 165, and that's going to drag the market even lower. All right. So I just wanted to warn you guys about this. Make sure you watch support and resistance. The market could be choppy here and there, but overall, we've been on a downtrend. We're making lower highs and lower lows, and this trend has continued. So watch these levels carefully and just do what you have to do, guys. Thank you all so much for listening. Please take care during times like this. And just know that going into tomorrow, we have PCE data coming out. That's going to be very important. And it's going to be coming out basically an hour before the market opens. So if you want to hold through PCE, that is your choice. If you want to sell now, that's also your choice. This is very important inflationary data for the Fed. So watch this for tomorrow morning. Okay, so anyways, thank you all so much for listening. Have an absolutely spectacular day. Get ready for PCE coming out tomorrow morning, and that's going to have a big effect on how the market moves. So we'll see what that causes. And until then, with this big data coming out, just be patient and watch these supports very, very carefully. All right, thanks, guys. See you guys again later on, and peace out.